Hello everyone, I'm TheCrimsonDM, and welcome back to another one of these weird vlog projects I wanted to do. So, in this one, I actually wanted to talk about Pokemon, and not just Pokemon, but my favorite Pokemon starters. And I thought that'd be a little fun thing to do, so let's get into it. Now, I want to mention the first thing I'm going to do is go through every generation and talk about my favorite Pokemon from each generation. And then, after I get through all those, I'm going to go ahead and say what my favorite of, all of them are. Now, hopefully I got some cool little artwork, and I might even go to explain my thought process a little bit more as I go on. So, without further ado, let's go. So first we have is Generation 1 starters. We have Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And I think at some point everyone has loved these ones. Now I am leaving Eevee and Pikachu out of these as they're more special event oddity kind of starters. They're not the ones you'd usually see in these kind of games. Heck, Pikachu and Eevee are even based off of the TV show more than they are based off of anything else, so, you can argue whether those are considered canon to the game universe or not, but at this point, I think the game universe's canon is kind of screwed, so, meh, I'm just not choosing them for raisins. Now, out of the first three, I love them all, okay? I love them all, I grew up with all of them. I have at some point done an entire playthrough of Pokemon using each one of them. But today, I need to pick my favorite one of the starters. And I'm gonna be honest, it's easily Bulbasaur. Now, why Bulbasaur? Well, not just because he was the one that had two typings in the beginning, grass and poison, but also because Bulbasaur's evolutionary line is the one that makes the most logical sense in progression out of any Pokemon evolution line I've ever seen. Like, it actually looks the best. The evolution from Bulbasaur to Ivysaur to Venusaur just looks really good. Okay? I mean, there's some sexy Pokemon. Yeah, they look like frogs with plants on their back. My least favorite of this generation is Charmander. Now, that's not to say I don't love Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. I actually think that the middle evolutions of all three of these are my favorite middle evolutions of all starters, period. I mean, Ivysaur, Charmeleon, and Wartortle look awesome. But the problem I have with Charizard is he's loved by everyone at this point. There's not a person who doesn't love Charizard. And that is my only thing I can say about why Charmander's my least favorite, is he's everywhere. I know, it's kind of a lame reason. I'm complete hipster trash. Now we go to the Johto League, Generation 2, which has a pretty simple one too. It's Chikorita. Hands down, no holds barred, Chikorita is my favorite of the second generation starters. There's no arguing with that. Chikorita's always just been the one with the most pleasant design. Competitively, Chikorita's crap. Complete trash. But I love Chikorita. She's beautiful. My least favorite is, oddly enough, not Cyndaquil. It's actually Totodile, Croconaw, and Feraligatr, with whom I don't like so much that I forget they exist. I don't hate them. No, if I hated them, I would know they existed. I completely forget they exist almost all the time. I always forget who Totodile is, and then when I saw a picture of Croconaw earlier, I was like, wait, that's what Totodile evolves into? That's how bad Totodile is to me. I know people are going to have different opinions, but, isn't that kind of why we love Pokemon? Isn't that why there's 807 Pokemon? So that we can have different opinions? Yeah. Now we're on to Hoenn, the third generation. And this one's gonna be fun. My favorite one of this one is Torchic. Yep, not a grass type for once. I mean, surprising, isn't it? But Torchic is my favorite of this generation. Now, originally it was Trico when I first started. I love Trico. I love Grovyle, and I love Sceptile. They all have wonderful designs. But you know what's even better? Blaziken. Blaziken is seriously the most freaking kick-ass thing I've ever seen. And whenever I get to play a ROM hack where its dream ability is activated and it just gets super fast, it's so much fun. Blaziken is the only reason I got so far in Pokemon Reborn, which is the hardest game on the freaking planet. But because of Blaziken, I got that far. Mudkip is pretty cool. Unfortunately, he's my least favorite of this generation, even though I like Mudkip. If people ask me, do you Mudkip, I say yes. I have played with Mudkip quite a few times. He is overpowered, he is amazing, and he still looks like a Pokemon. Now, still looking like a Pokemon is going to be relevant for the next couple generations. And then we have Sinnoh, Generation 4. Oh, Sinnoh, the generation that I barely remember anything from. You know, I like Sinnoh though. It has one of the coolest teams that I've seen, with probably some of the most interesting bad guys. I believe, and this might be a wrong memory, but I feel like they had this whole Team Rocket theme going on with a couple of their admins that were returning characters. I really liked that. The Psychic Monkeys were also pretty fun. But we're talking about the starter Pokemon. So, out of the starters, my favorite one is Turtwig. You might start seeing some sort of, I don't know, formula or repetition here with Grass type. Can't clearly be because I like Grass type starters. But I'll admit, during my only playthrough of Pokemon, I think Diamond, the one with the friggin' long neck dinosaur, through that playthrough, I used Chimchar. And it was solely because I did not know how epic Turtwig's final evolution was going to look. And I was also used to the firefighting. And then Infernape disappointed me. It didn't look that great, and its fighting move pool was just not that great. Like, Blaziken was amazing in the fighting department. Infernape, not that good. And so, you might be thinking, oh, well, Chimchar's my least favorite then, right? Nope, it's Piplup. And you know why it's Piplup? Its final evolution's hideous. I agree with the Pokemon anime here. Its evolutions were too ugly for the main character to have in beauty pageants. I know, that's going to be super controversial. Let you guys sort that one out in the comments below. Then we have one of my favorite generations of all time, Unova. And I hate all the starters. All three of them. I just do. I, of course, played with Tepig because it was fire type, and when I was a kid, I had this real problem with choosing fire type versus grass type for starter Pokemon, but Blaziken showed me the light, and then the light never, ever, ever returned. Unfortunately, I hate Tepig's evolutions. Tepig is cute. Pignet is not. Emboar is a piece of crap. Sorry. So I have to go and give Snivy the honor of being the best one here. And it's only because Snivy has some really good, let's say less than child-friendly artwork. Yeah. Sorry, porn. Snivy, you only win because there's porn of you, and I find it hilarious. I mean, just look at that eye. got a real bedroom eye to it. Looks like it's like got something up its sleeves. Does it wear sleeves? It's wearing a coat. I don't know. You might want, what's my least favorite? What's my least favorite? It's the one that doesn't look like a Pokemon in its final evolution, Oshawott, which digivolves into a freaking Digimon. Yeah, why? Why does it turn into a Digimon? I'll never know. I kinda hate that. Oh well. Now we have Kalos, which, yet again, breaks the mold. My favorite one's actually Froakie. Now, this is a hard one because I kinda, again, hate all of these ones except for one thing. Froakie's final evolution is a freaking ninja with a scarf. Even if its scarf is its tongue, which is absolutely gross, it's cool. Okay, it's a ninja. It goes from like a super nerd to a ninja, and I like that. Fennekin begins looking so beautiful, and then it becomes ugly, and I hate that so much. Chespin is ugly, its evolutions are ugly. I do not like those. Not at all. And finally we get to Alola, which is the first time in 2 generations where there's been a starter that I really, really like. I'll put it out now. My least favorite one is Litten. That cat might be totally lit, fam, but I don't like it. Okay, it's final, and I could have liked it. Litten's not too bad looking, and its appearance in the anime is the most heartbreaking Pokemon ever. I cried so hard. I love Litten, but I'm not going to use one. Its evolution sucks, and its evolution looks like furry bait. Which is kind of hilarious that I picked that as being the bad one, considering my favorite evolution is Popplio, because its evolution is freaking hot. Yeah. Primarina is sexy. Just like, not even gonna hide that. Don't even know what else to say. Like, I hate Litten because its final evolution is furry bait. I like Primarina because its final evolution is attractive. I wonder if I'm a hypocrite anywhere along the lines there? Nah, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm just Crimson. So yeah, that's the starters. That's my favorite and least favorite of each generation. If you guys absolutely hated this video, you know, there's a comment section for a reason. And if you guys liked it, there's also a comment section and a like button and a subscribe button for a reason. Shameless plug. If you guys actually sat through this entire thing, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.